Well, hello, everybody. My name is Gary, DenverGuitarOrchestra.com. I'm going to go post a link to this festive event. And we're going to start working on some Beatles tunes tonight. We got three While My Guitar Gently Weeps, Yesterday, Blackbird. Oh, and then we also have a mystery song, which should be fun. And let me go copy and let me tweet. Let's go to the website. We'll post the link. Log in. Got a couple new people joining us tonight, and so they are getting antsy that I haven't posted the link yet. So we'll get it up and we'll get everybody in here. We'll start in about 5 minutes, 6 minutes or so. So if you're watching the replay, you can fast forward. Hopefully the sound is good. First person in the room usually says, hey, the sound is working or not. And of course, as you are logging in, give us a weather report and on your location so we know how things are going in your neighborhood. And let's update that. And then I click update. I'll make everybody happy. And then I'm not entirely positive that I downloaded our music for today. So let's see if I have it in the machine. Otherwise, I gotta go. Jolly Roger. Oh, we're on Denver Guitar. That's the other Denver website. I have a couple of testing websites. Songs. I'm not positive I even uploaded this. Bird. There it is. Blackbird guitar. I'm going to go down here. Let's find yesterday. Yesterday guitar. And While My Guitar Gently Weeps. And then I had my this is the one that may not be in here, the secret song. That's what I didn't download. Okay, so I don't necessarily need to download that one though. Download guitar. All right, there's that. Go back to the cloud. Hit download. 3 items. Yes. It's starting. 1, 2, 3 files are downloaded. Okay, I'm gonna need to turn on a light. 3. Okay, so I think we're good. Let's see who's showing up here tonight. Close. Elizabeth is here. Okay, what's the mystery piece? Question mark. I'm actually not going to tell you, Elizabeth, because if I tell you, then you will go do research until you find it, and then you will find the book that I'm using to get this mystery songs from, and then it won't be a mystery anymore. So I am being deliberately sly about not telling you where I'm getting this stuff from. So, because once I give you one of them, you'll go get all of them, and I want them to be doled out little bits at a time. And Elizabeth says the sound is good. Elizabeth is a superior internet researcher when it comes to music, and I'm trying to draw the music for our secret songs from a secret location. And I think so far, as far as I can tell, they're a little obscure, the location where I'm finding these. So we'll see how it goes. I got a tweet, https denverguitarorchestra.com. Tweet. All right, so that's tweeted. Get rid of Twitter. A little too late there, bud. Okay, so there's that. And good evening, everybody. Let's see. Vic is in. Hi, Christy. Some classical piece in an instructional book. That's your first clue. Marianne, welcome in. Christy's got it all figured out. Between Christy and Elizabeth, they'll have this thing figured out by the end of the hour. Marianne is in. Let's see. Was it from one of my books? Elizabeth, is it from a top secret location? Nothing we know the name of. I don't know if we don't know the name. It's no, you don't know the name of it. Let's put it that way. I think is the correct answer, Christy. Evelyn, great to be back in the new year. I know, right? We're getting our new year started off nice, and hopefully we'll keep it nice. We had a weird thing happen yesterday, and then we're moving on from it, right? And so let's keep our head focused in around what we're doing, which is learning to play guitar. Sounds familiar, but I can't name it. That's what I love about it. That's what I love about it. Okay, good. Is it an A2? Look at you guys. You're ridiculous. You cannot. No, I'm not telling you the source. At some point, somebody will figure it out, and it'll ruin everything. So. Let's see. Hey, Pauline, welcome in. Arlo is here tonight. RG, that's Ronnie. Hello, Ronnie. How are you tonight? So we have a good turnout tonight. I don't want to spend too long talking about stuff. This level 4, right? And so the one thing I know about you guys is that you've probably seen the sheet music before. You've gotten a sense of how this works. If you do not have the sheet music, it's because you did not send me an email. So I'm not going to mess with that now. But if you're here and you're like, I need the sheet music, but I don't know where to find it, you were supposed to have sent me an email. Now, I got lots of emails. Seems to be quite a bit of interest in Beatles music. And oddly, it's fascinating to me when it comes to music because I no longer care what the song is. It's no longer of any interest to me. It's all about the problem solving and the strategies with inside of the music. And so at some point in my life, I think I really liked certain groups and I liked certain styles and genres of music, but I've given up on that. It's like, all right, what are we going to play next? And but I'm delighted that for whatever reason, playing some Beatles tunes has hopefully touched a chord in you, and you're like, yeah, I would like to do that. And so let's start. Tonight is really workshopping, right? Let's go through each of the pieces and figure out what's going to go well and what's not going to go well, how we would play it, no matter what level you're on, and how we can make this a meaningful activity for you. Elizabeth says it sounds good on piano. Nice. Yeah, it's a nice song, you guys. And so we've got 4 songs to go over tonight, and I'm blurry. Blackbird, and that's what I just pulled up in front of me. So let's do that one first. I would say of the 4 that we're working on, I find this one to be the least interesting, but that I don't, obviously what I think doesn't matter. It matters whether you like the song and whether it's fun, whether it fits under your fingers well. So as always, we will play things we'll check out the chords, then we will play the melody, and then we will play the chord melody version of that. And obviously you guys are not here because you are just checking things out. You're good at this, and you want to be better, and that you're going to take what's on the paper and turn it into something that you do anyway. When we are getting together in an orchestral situation or an ensemble situation, we have a little more rules about, hey, everybody's got to keep the beat steady and all that, blah, blah, blah. You're going to play this part, I'm going to play that part. All of that stuff goes on, which is very, very fun. But when we're unfortunately in this situation where we really can't play with one another, I want to give you the whole entire story of a song, and then you turn it into something. After Blackbird, we got While My Guitar Gently Weeps, and we've worked on that one time, I think back in April maybe, and I did not update the sheet music. So I'm going to find out. I believe it's still a good piece of music. And I don't remember us needing to make many changes to it, but we'll find out. And then Yesterday was on that list. And again, that's a song that gets done a lot by people. And I had half a dozen versions of other guitarists that have put it together, including Christy, who's here tonight. And so I took what I usually do, which is I just went in and got a fake book piece of music, and I typed in the melody line and the lyrics, and then I went to work with creating the chord setup for what I think sounds the best. And so So it is a new arrangement, but it, and I don't have any. I don't press the idea that I've created something magical or new. I just put it into our format. My thing with everything that we play around here is that it needs to be playable. A lot of times when you wander the internet and you download people's tabs, it's how they play it, but they're not really trying to make it sound like, hey, I know how to really teach you to play this song. It's like, hey, look what I can do. And so it's a different approach. I don't really care how other people play music. I care about the easiest way to make the song sound beautiful, and then from there you can make it as complicated as you want with what you're doing. And then finally tonight, the secret song. And guys, I want to be totally straight with you. I am trying really hard to get comfy with academic guitar and getting rid of tablature and which is actually surprising. I mean, thank goodness I had pretty good background in music, because it has not been as nearly as tragic as I thought it was going to be. I felt like I'm falling into it okay. But I don't want you to obsess about what it is or where it's come from. I want you to just take the notes and see how you take them. And for some of you, it will be with some music background. Reading the notes is no big deal, and you will be able to get the tune out. For some of you, this will be a big reach, and you'll just say, "Yeah, that's not really for me." But I have lots more where that came from, and I really am going to try to keep the source of these on the down low. If you figure out where they're coming, where I'm getting them from, please don't spread it around. I don't want you to turn it into a research project. I want it to be you and some notes on a piece of paper, and see what you can do with that guitar wise. So there's my speech for the week. And I knew when I walked in, you guys would be like, "Hey, is it this song? Is it this song?" You'd want to know that stuff, because I know you guys, and that makes me laugh. It's awesome, right? You want to know. And so, all right. So I have Blackbird in front of me. Let's run through the chords. Just make sure that we know what we're dealing with. Again, the beauty of the Beatles is they don't overcomplicate things, and so that's kind of nice, right? D chord, and then goes back to your E7, which is kind of weird, and then onto the G. And you can hear that Beatles tune already. And then you're going to go to this G minor. Now, G minor has always been a bit of a disappointment on this instrument. Bar on 3, and then your E minor shape up in front, right? So you've got your E minor shape. Slide that up, put your bar on 3. This has to be on 5. And there's your G minor. I will tell you, I cheat on G minor all the time. The bottom 3 strings are 3, 3, 3, 3. It's very normal for me to be like, I can't get to all that right now. And I just hit 3 there. So that's a simplified way of thinking about it. And then back to D chord, and then to E7, and then to G, and then D. So you can really, there's nothing super complex about that, but you can definitely hear the Beatles voicing in that. Now, the next measure, this is the only 7/4 measure I have ever used, ever. And it was like, this seems weird. A lot of the sheet music puts it in at 8/4 or 2/4/4 measures. I listened to them do the song several times, and they do short this to be 7 beats, and so it's fine, because the last beat is a whole note and it's 4 beats. And so if you decided you were singing it, it's okay if you put in all 8 beats, but it's pretty clear the Beatles wanted to have a weird number of beats there. I don't know why, but that's what is on in the recordings. And a number of the pieces of sheet music I consulted, some used shorter measures, but a lot of them just did 2/4/4 notes, 2/4/4 measures. Did a tie on night. Blackbird singing in the dead of night, and then they tied it over onto a measure with 4 beats, but that's not what's going on in the recording. So let's finish our chords up. D, Blackbird, G chord, singing in the, back to D, dead of night. Okay, and you got to be a decent singer to hit that note. Go with your G chord. Take these E7, broken A7 wings, and then then to get to your A sharp diminished, just keep holding onto those two fingers and add two more fingers. Guitarists have a tendency to do some very weird things with diminished chords, but those of us who played a little ukulele in our lives were like, you don't have to do all that work. This is the shape for all diminished chords on your guitar. You don't need to complicate this one. In this case, I would not hit the string 5 because that's an A string and it's going to sound off. So just hit the bottom 4 and learn to, and then it'd be B minor shape. Okay, remember A minor is the shape you're making. A minor. I might get my fingers on, and then but you're going to be on the 2nd fret. And learn to fly, and then to D chord, and then all your life. G minor. You were on. I'm sorry. You don't sing. You change the chord, but you don't sing yet, right? So all your life, and then you change the chord. Then you change to sing. You were only waiting for this A chord moment to where's my button? Rise. Okay, and then they repeat. Okay, so then they go back to that 7th thing, the 7/4 measure at measure 5. Blackbird singing in the dead of night. Take these sunken eyes and learn to fly. D chord, all your life. Hard to get that on. You were only waiting for this moment to be free. Okay, I don't know the words. And then the next section of this, almost every piece of music that I consulted does this differently. I kind of went with the simpler version, just because I think it doesn't need to be complicated. Okay, C chord. Blackbird fly. Blackbird fly. Blackbird fly. And then they do a weird thing here. They go to this E, and it really does work. Into the, and of course they go way up high. Into the, and then A minor 7. Light of a dark black night, and then your G chord, and then at 17 you go back and repeat the first verse. Blackbird singing in the dead of night, take these broken wings and learn to fly all your life. You were only waiting for this moment to arrive. Blackbird fly, blackbird fly, and that is definitely using that E chord there. Into the light of a dark black night. And then you can finish out the song, right? I did, well, we'll get to that in just a second. So that's your chords. I think you have to be the Beatles to sing it, to pull it off. I think that's why we don't see a ton of covers on this, because it's definitely, it's not a one that I would ever try to sing. All right, let's run through the melody. I always tell you guys, hey, double check the melody before you get started on that, just to see what tragedies are going to be following you. The intro is all 0s, 2s, and 3s, so you can play that in second or third, first or second position. I'm probably going to play it in first position. When you get to measure 5, you've got these 5s that show up, right? So you got to know where your 5 is. I don't have a dot on this guitar with it at the 5th fret. It drives me crazy. I'm going to add one on. And then you've got 3. So I'm probably going to play measure 7 in second position, and then I'm going to. All right, that's probably the least amount of motion is to play that one in second position, which would then say, hey, maybe I should play the intro in second position as well. And then also into measure 6, there's some more 2s, 3s, and 5s, so nothing fancy's going on there. I look down through the rest of the song, the whole thing, second position. It's just yelling at me. Take it all in second position. And then I get to measure 12. I got some 3s, a bunch of 3s, and then you get to that 10. Okay, so I'm going to be playing Blackbird Fly, Blackbird Fly, and then I got to go find 10 in, then 8/5 to the, and back to 8 night, Okay, so it doesn't sound like a whole lot yet there, but that's going to be important to know where your 10 is, and your 8, and then 5, 8, 5. Okay, and so you do have a 1 that shows up at the very end, and notice the reason that 1 shows up there, um, it's naturalized, right? Because it's supposed to be normally, you're supposed to normally in this key, all Fs are sharp, but in this case, they're naturalizing that F so that you're going to use an index finger there. Into the light of a dark black night, right? And you can hear, I don't know if John sings it or Paul sings it, but you can hear that weird moment there in the song. All right, so let's go through then and walk through the tough acts. Tonight we're just going to be walking through stuff and making sure it makes sense and make sure I have typos, and then you guys are going to send me emails, be like, no, you should have done it this way. Okay, so start at the top. We're going to play a D chord with the open bottom string. All my, and then you're going to go to your G chord, ring finger on the second string. Life, oh, oh, 3, and you go to a D chord. You were only, lifting up my ring or middle finger, and then you're going to go grab this E7 with a 2 on the top. That's not the right note. It's just going to sound weird, but it's going to be cool. Waiting 3-0 for this, and then a G chord with an open bottom. Low, add your 3, and then I'm just going to abandon the chord to get the 2, and then the D chord on. Rise, 2, 3, 2. Now measure 5 again. It's a weird count in here, but you really the key is to get these 16th notes. So if you're going too fast, you're going to blow the 16th notes. They're very hard to play in proper timing. So I would do blackbird singing in the dead of night. That's how I'm going to approach it. I'm not going to rush through that one at all. Anytime I see 16th notes in a piece, I know that that's going to have to be played slower in order for me to get them in proper timing. So if you're like, oh, I'm all that, I can play 16th notes. No, you can't. You can't play those at a high rate of speed. And I know this. Okay. So be patient. Let it be a slow song. You don't have to play it at John and Paul's speed. You can play at whatever speed you want to play at. All right. So let's do that in one measure there. Measure 5. Go. Blackbird, change to the G chord, singing in the, back to your D chord, dead, pinky, and then a strum, night, and then some decorative notes, 2, 3, 2. You can put anything in there you want. Those are just to help you count the timing. Go grab that 002, take these 2, and then grab the 3, and then the E7, broken, grab an A7, wings, and then I'm just going to put on my, as if I'm doing it, I'm going to use my ring finger to grab that 3, wings, and then you raise that up and put it into the diminished shape. Learn, slide up to get the 5, 2, and then come back to B minor. Now I arranged it just with an open B minor, 2, 3, 4, with the 4th string being an open. Fly. It's easier, I think, to play it that way, but you could put on a full B minor here and give it a bigger strum. Fly, 4, 3, 2, or if you've got the full thing on, you can use the other strings, but in this case, be mindful, hey, what's working for me? If I want to do it open, I'm only going to hit 4 strings. 4, 3, 2. But if you want to put the full B minor on, then you can do, 5 strings, and then you can hit anything you want after that. I felt like that was more work than it was worth, and so I just want to go with the. And then I'm going to go to measure 8, put that D chord on with my middle finger up again. All your, and then go grab your G chord. Life, 0, 0, 3, and then back to a D chord. You were only, E7 with the 2, waiting. Somehow get the 3. I'm going to use my pinky, I think, for this regular A chord. Moment, 2, 2, and then a D chord. Rise, 2, 3, and then we'll go back and play the whole thing in just a second. Okay, so that's how you get through the first 11 measures. Not brutal, not necessarily easy, but somewhere in the between there. Then grab your C chord, put your pinky up on the top string at 3, black, and then you've got an A minor with your pinky on the second string at 3, bird, and then you've got 3 2 3 3 2 3. Okay, so think about it for just a minute. If you've got an F chord on, and you've got 3, these are threes, 2 3 threes, and a 2. And then, unfortunately, the melody note's hanging out under here. So it doesn't make sense to put on a full F chord, does it? What it makes sense to do is grab this 2 on the third string and then put it 2 threes above it and a 3 below it. Okay, so you see what I'm doing? I'm just going to put this as if it's a bar on the second string, on the third string, second fret, and then I'm going to just grab all the 3s around it, leaving this string open. Okay, so that's what's going on there. Strum that. Don't hit the top string. It sounds weird. 5 strings 5 4 3 and 2. Fly, and then from there you can just reach up and grab the G chord, and that resolves the thought. And then you go to a C chord, put your pinky on the first string. Again, A minor with the 3. Same thing. Index finger first, and then all 3s around it. And then what's so weird is they have this E chord sitting there, so you're going to slide back, and then your pinky's going to end up on the 3 that was the melody, you know. Okay. Isn't that weird? That's the wrong chord, but that's exactly what they do in this song. And then you get this very atonal into the light of the dark black night. So then once you hit that, go grab your 10. 10, sorry, that's 11. 10, 8, 5, 8, 5, 5, 3, 1. Now, I went ahead and gave you a chord at the first of measure 16. I'm finding it very hard to hit that chord, though, so I will tell you what I'm probably going to do. 10, 8, 5, and then what I wrote in the tab is, and then bar this 5 and put on the 8, which sounds very cool if you can do it. So you may want to do just a sliding pinky here. 10, 8, then put your bar on. 5, 8, 5, and then put your 8 back on with the bar. A couple more 5s. 5, 5, 3, 1, and then a D chord. And then a G chord. And a D chord. And then you're going to go back and play the song again. Okay, when you come to the end, measure 18, you're going to drop down to 10, 10, 10, 11, and 12. Okay, so that's this high D chord. You got to be a little careful when it's way down there, especially if you don't have a cutout on your guitar. Your tendency is to pull the strings a little bit to get it in there, which I just did. You want to try to get in there clean and flat and put a nice high D chord in there. It sounds kind of pretty. All right, let's just play through it twice. Pick any way you want to play it. I'm going to go crazy slow just to make sure we've got it, okay? 1, 2, 3, 4. Quarter notes in here, and then we go to a D chord, 2, 3, 2, measure 6, minor shape or diminished shape, B minor open, 4, 3, 2, and then your D chord, no middle finger, G chord, O, another D chord, E7 with the 2, A chord, 2-0, second page, D chord. Okay, and then go into the second section. Let's not do the repeat. Let's just play from 12, C chord, A minor, the 3 with the 2 with the 3s around it, and then a G chord. Okay, and then repeat that idea. A minor. And then this E chord with the 3. It seems so wrong, but that's the truth. And then 10, 8, 10. 3, 1, D chord. 2, G chord, D chord, and then let's finish up. Okay, so there's your thing. Oh, we had a bot come through. Let me make sure that person goes away. Hide that person. All right, and then let's make this person go away as well. So that gets rid of the weirdos in the chat. All right, so there we go. Okay, this one doesn't hurt my fingers. One of the very few level 4 songs we've ever had that doesn't just hurt. I would say with this one, it's a short song. You only got 18 measures total, right? And so I would say this is a good one if you're thinking about, I want to have a really fun, beautiful, not terribly hard thing to, they're all hard to play. Less hard thing to play, and that still sounds good. Everybody knows this song, and obviously we're playing it super slow right now, but if you can get the speed up, you really have something pretty cool, I think. All right, that's Blackbird. Let's move on. We're going to run out of time if I don't keep pushing forward. Let's do While My Guitar, I'm just going alphabetically here, While My Guitar Gently Weeps. Now, those of you guys that are ukulele players, you know about Jake Shimabukuro, and you know that he made this song pretty darn famous. And this is not his arrangement, right? So let's make sure that we know that we're not trying to be that fancy. All right, 15th. Guitar Gently Weeps. All right, December 28th, 2020 version. And this one, again, you work it in parts and then you go back through and put the whole thing together. So when you've got the beginning here, bum, 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 bum. So it's all, you can see all 3 parts are identical here. So just put your D minor on. Bum, 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 bum. And then grab that F6 shape. Bum, 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 bum. And then the D minor 6 shape, which is super weird. Bum, 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 bum. And then jump up, put a little bar on 3, and your pinky up on 5. Bum, bum. So just that one section alone, I would section that off. I would work that section. That makes perfect sense as the intro. Then you go back to your D minor shape. And this entire section is designed around the chord shape. So you're holding the D minor and you're playing 3-0, which is your middle and thumb. Hit your index. Then go to a C shape. Then go to your G shape. And now you've got to split your fingers a little further. Middle on the bottom string, thumb on the 4th string, ring finger is going to play the 3rd string. And then go grab your full A chord, and then, but you're going to split up your hand here. So you're going to use these 3 on the bottom 3 strings and your thumb on the 5th string. Go ahead and put a fermata right on the top of that, on the top of measure 8, the last chord there in measure 8. Perfectly fine to let that run a minute. Bum, and then use your 2 again on the 3rd string. Now, from here out, you can decide, right? If I'm a singer, look at you all, see the love there that's sleeping. Okay, and then D minor. While my C chord, guitar gently, G chord, weeps, ba-da-ba-bum-bum-bum, and then A chord. Okay, D minor again. Look at the floor, and I see it needs sweeping. I don't understand that. I don't understand that as a topic of a song at all, but there it is. Sweeping, D minor. Still my C chord. Guitar gently weeps. See, that F chord really picks it up. That's kind of a beautiful moment. Weeps. And then the A7 will bring it back down. Wow. And then remember, this part is hard to sing anyway, but they go to a new, basically, they do go to a new key. I don't know. And then I've got this posted way up here on 6. So you're going to go up to 6 with your index finger, just slide it all the way up 6. You put this around here on strings 4 and 2, and then your pinky's going to go up here onto 9. Okay, and that's the chord you have here. Why, blah, blah, blah. And then you're going to jump all the way back to your D minor. Nobody told. And then an F minor. Just move these 2 fingers up and lose your middle. You drop back to your E minor. How to unfold your A chord, love. And then you go on the next page, page 3. I don't know. It's up to 6, 7, 7, 9. How? D minor. Someone controlled. F minor. F sharp minor, sorry. Through 3, 4, E minor. They bought and sold you. And you've got to be a way better singer than I am to pull all that off. Okay, and then there you go back to measure 9. Come back through the second time. And then let's go to stay on 39 and just do the second part of that. So we're going to go from 39 into 40 and play on. I look at you all, see the love there that's sleeping. Well, my guitar gently weeps. A7 is going to take you to the next idea. I look at you all. Okay, so what they're doing here is pulling in this D minor 6, and then you're putting a D minor on, and then let that roll for a second. Still my guitar gently weeps. And that's really the end of the song, but then we put on a little, and everybody should probably play this little ending here. It sounds kind of cool. Vibrato. Okay, and I want you to play that slower and slower and slower and quieter and quieter. The last note should be barely even hear it, right? Okay, all right, let's play through the melody real quick. Let me get all the way to the top. Melody, let's start at measure 9. 1, 2, 3. 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3. 3, 4. Sorry, I missed the rest. 2, 3, 4, rest. Okay, on to 25, new key. So all the way to 9. 2-0, 2, 3, 4, rest. 2-0, 2, 3, 4, 1. Rest. 2, 3, 4, rest. Up they bought and sold you. Okay. And in the first time through, he's going sold you, and in the second time he says alerted you. So there is that drop in temp. So on your guitar, since he's slurring that, you could do. Right, you could draw your finger from 5 to 2 to get a cool effect. And then let's go on into 40. Let's do the pick up to 40 and keep going. 1, 2, 3. Two, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3. 2, 3, 4. Rest. Rest. Two, 3, 4, and then you'll do this. And then D chord. 5. So it's kind of fun. It's really, really cool. All right. And then let's just run through the tough acts. I won't talk about too much until we get to something really nasty. But those of you guys that are tough acts, you know that this is a process of getting through there. From the top, 1, 2, 3, 4. Oh, Vic just asked, what's the symbol above measure 57? 50. Oh, that's a tremolo or a vibrato is what that means. That's what that little symbol is. Okay, just a vibrato sign. That's why you want to try to hit it with your pinky or your ring. Those are pretty easy vibrato ones. I do okay with middle, and I find index to be very hard to do vibrato on. So if I have a choice, I'm going to go with pinky or ring to do the vibrato. Good eye, Vic. I didn't even notice that sitting up there. All right, from the top, 1, 2, 3, 4. That's a moment where I'm going to use my 3. I got to reach my pinky all the way to 6 because I don't want to let go of the 3s. D minor. C chord. Put your pinky on the 3. And then G chord. A chord. Let that rest for just a second and then go on to your D minor. F chord, I just do a partial F here. It's too much work to do the whole thing. So just grab if those of you guys with ukulele background, you got a B flat sitting here, right? Just 1, 1, little bar, 2 and 3. A7. Okay, so there's that, and then we go on to 25. And I put strums on these, and then go use that chart that's sitting right there to help you get this chord on. Pull it back. Okay, open B minor, 20205, and then F sharp minor is all twos and just a 4 here. Regular E minor. And then this is very similar to the other weird chord in the other piece we were talking about. Put your index finger on 4 and then surround it by 5s. And then lose the 4. And then hit the 2. We may have to work on that one moment there. Okay, and then measure 32. All the way up to 6. Open B minor. E minor. Go up to your 4. Surround it by 5s. A chord. And then we go back to the main idea and measure 40. Keep going forward. Oh, and I go back to plucking. All 3s. I'll have to work on that. C chord, pinky, G chord, A7, let it ring, and then this is where it gets a little weird. Okay, they change it just a little bit in major 49, then do your D minor 6, add a 3, this is so weird. It's 3 0 2 3 3. It's basically your D chord with your pinky up on top. I don't know why that works, but it does. And then 5 1 3 3 C chord, 3 F chord, and then not fast here. And give this a good. This is the end of the song, really. And give it something fancy, and then. Really slow. Probably, if I'm going to do this again, I'm not going to do a chord there. Yeah, in fact, I'm going to erase it right now. That chord in the tough axe at the bottom there, I don't like it. Just play a 3. And that'll be fine. I over erased it. Let me come back. Let's get rid of 2 and 0. Just play a simple 3 there. It'll sound the best with some vibrato. Elizabeth says, Chapdelaine vibrates 3 or 4 fingers on the same string. Do most people just use 1 finger? Yeah, most people just use 1 finger. Chapdelaine is a ridiculously good guitar player, and so I would not. Watching him play guitar is like watching Tiger Woods play golf. You should enjoy it. You should really be impressed and enjoy it. He lives down in Taos. You can meet him. He comes up to Denver sometimes. But you should not emulate him. He's at a level that we're probably unlikely to attain. All right. Yeah. And so I just use like vibrato, okay, this is what violin players do, right? If it's good enough for them, it's good enough for me. All right, we're going to run out of time here, I'm afraid. Let's run to yesterday. I think we'll go through this at a little bit too fast of a pace, and then I want to talk about your first classical assignment. All right, C chord yesterday. You start with your C chord. Yesterday, and then go grab your B minor 7. All my, and then E7. Trouble seems so, A minor far off, and then take your ring finger off the way. F chord. Now and if you're R low, you slide up to a G chord with the same shape. Looks as though they're C chord. Here to stay, oh. Just lift up your ring finger. I believe in yesterday. Okay, and you repeat. And the second time you come through, you keep going through to the B minor 7. Why she had to go. That's a lot of I'm overdoing the chords here. Had to go. I don't know. She wouldn't say. There's a lot of chord work, right? B minor 7. I said, go on page 2. Something wrong now. I long for yesterday. Okay, let it go. Let it go. Yay. And another C chord. Yesterday. By the way, here's this guy bemoaning his fate for I said something wrong, and now she's gone. That's not how it works, gentlemen. You did something wrong, and now she's gone. You can say stuff wrong all the time. That's what we do as men, is we say something wrong. They don't take off on that, right? Okay, usually. All right. B minor major 17. Love was such an easy game to play. Aha, there's the problem. Okay, F chord. Now I, G7, need a place to see, hide away. Oh, I believe in yesterday. All right, so there's a little bit of a love advice from the love doctor. It's not about what you say, it's about what you do. And love was such an easy game to play, sends us a very strong message that this was more than just a simple disagreement, right? Suddenly I'm not half the man I used to be because she's gone, right? There's a shadow hanging over me yesterday, suddenly, blah, blah, blah. And the last verse is yesterday, love was such an easy game to play. Now I need a place to hide away. Oh, I believe in yesterday. Come on, fellas, you can do better. I don't know about you guys, and I should not make fun of the Beatles, but those lyrics are a bit questionable in my mind. Let's play them. Guys, we're not going to have time to play the melody. Let's just go talk about the tough uke really quickly. Those of you guys that are newer, the melody's fine. Just play the melodies, though. That's the most important thing you can be doing to make yourself a better guitarist. And then fuss around a little bit with this chord melody business. Okay, C chord with your pinky. Whoops. Okay, that's just a C chord. And then B minor 7. You gotta try to get that right. Don't do what I just did, which is to chase your pinky all the way down. Do the chord. Do this chord. 0, 2, 4 should be one motion. And then 5, 7, 8 is another motion. And then put your bar on the 5. Couple of decorative 5s. And then you've got 5, 6, and 7 in here. So when you see a weird thing like that, that means we've had to move the chord up the fretboard a little bit. So 5, 6, 7. No, that's not right. 5, 6, 7. Here it is. Okay, that's where we're going, way up there. Classical guitars are very comfy with these weird things up here. And then 5, 5. And then you can dive back down to your regular G. You're going to cover both ones and then put a C chord on. Regular C, pinky, A minor, and then D7, but the melody is 3, so put a G chord on. Okay, 1, 2, 3, 3. There's your just plain old F chord. C chord. Okay, bong, and then you repeat. Second time you come down, you're going to go into measure 8. You got your partial B minor 7th at 8. E7. All 5s. 7, 8. 7, 5. Okay, go to your 6. Surround it with 7s. Back to 5. Back to 3. Hit the 5. And there's C chord. B minor 7. 0. E7. Okay, page 2. All 5s. 5, 7, 8. 6 surrounded by 7s. 5. 3. Go all the way to 7. Bar on 5, pinky on 8. Jump the pinky, middle finger, hit your bar, and then we would either repeat or we're going to play measure 16. Get this yesterday here. C chord with your pinky. 2, O, B minor 7. 5, 7, 8. Bar on 7, pinky on 8, 7. Bar on 5, pinky on 7. 5, 5, 6, 7. G chord. Bar on 1, C shape. Pinky. I'm going to have to get that right. A minor. O. D chord. 2. Regular F chord. C chord. Okay, so that's what we're working on there. Elizabeth says he's got really neat come together with you. Okay. Guys ought to definitely double check. Write it down real quick. Shep Delane, he's an amazing guitar player. Elizabeth says major 16, second part of repeat, a mistake. Major 16, second part. Yeah, yeah. I saw that. It was going to ignore it. The forward repeat at major 16, you could ignore that. That's no repeat. No forward repeat. No forward. I was going to do this exactly like they do it, but then I realized it would take a lot more pages, and so I thought, you know what, I was going to do all these repeats, and then I realized I didn't need to do that, blah, blah, blah. Anyway, I managed to fit all 3 of the verses on the top, because usually you stick them at the bottom, and then I was going to have this other repeat, and it was going to end up too many pages, and I realized I don't have to do that. So that's just a repeat that was in there for a while, and then I forgot to take it out. So there you go. All right, so you got 3 solid tunes, okay? And that's plenty. Probably if you're working on more than 2, that's too many. Okay, let's talk about your secret song, okay? Because now, guys, here's the thing that I have discovered. You don't need to know every note on the fretboard. You really don't. But you got to know a few. Okay, so grab out your secret song, and we'll just talk about that for just a moment. Now, the first thing I want you to do, I will tell you that there's a very clear, very typical, very straightforward chord structure on this secret song. It's definitely in A minor. You would look at a piece of music like that, and you're like, well, I don't know. How would I know what chord it's in? And so since there's no sharps or flats in the key signature, it's probably in C or it's probably in A minor. And this one happens to be in A minor. So just as we always do with music theory, A, B, C, D, E, F. Okay, it works mostly the same way in minors that it does in majors. So in majors, if I'm playing an A, it's going to have a D and an E7 with it. If I'm playing in A minor, I'm going to have a D minor here and then some flavor of E on my fifth ring. This is where things get a little iffy in minors, but you're probably going to have some flavor of E. And I will tell you, in this piece of music, you have A minor, you have D minors, and you have E's. There is one place where an actual real A chord sneaks in there, but other than that, it's all just A minor, D minor, and E. And when that A major sneaks in there, it's just they only show one note on the thing, but if you put the whole chord in, it sounds better. Okay. Next thing I will tell you is that you want to anchor just a few notes. Okay. So the first three notes, well, I guess I should mention you probably want to at least, let me backtrack just a minute. If you are not ready for standard notation, if that's not a thing for you, that's fine. I would not waste my time on it because you've got tablature. It's a superior system on guitar to play with than standard notation. Nobody's going to ever convince me otherwise. But some of you are like, yeah, I like to get a little smarter about music. I like to maybe take the stuff I learned on piano and apply it to this. Or when I was a trumpet player in fourth grade, I want to take that information and start applying it to this guitar. You do not need to know how to read standard notation to play guitar. You don't, but you should maybe think about giving it a shot. Okay. The important thing here is, since it's just the staff line, you got to know FACE are the spaces, and every good boy does fine are the lines. Guitar is kind of dumb because they didn't come up with a guitar tab or a guitar staff, so they put it on treble clef, but you're really playing on octave clef and octave below, so that gets all confusing. But just try not to overthink it. It's just know they put it on treble clef, but it's wrong. Then that first note is an E, so FACE, and this is your E string, right? So that's going to be your first note. So that's important to know that. It's important to remember that this is an E, this is an A, this is a D, this is a G, this is a B, and this is an E. So that first note's an E. So that means if that's an E and then I look at the next one, every good boy does, that's going to be a D. Well, you've got your B string, C and D are right here. C, D, C, D, C, D. I think it's very important to know that this is a C note here. And the way you can remember that, if you put a C chord on, this is a C and this is a C. Okay, so if you just remember those two notes are C's, that's going to be helpful for you down the road. Okay, so we now know this is an E, this is an E, and this is a D. I'm sorry, second note, third fret. Okay, and then your next note, and it's telling you to use a 4, and there is a reason why you're supposed to use your 4. It seems like as tablature players, we'd be like, that should be a 3 there, but it's not. You really want to use a 4 there, and you'll find out why when we put in the chords. Okay, you've got an open E, then a D, and then of course the next note is the C, and we just talked about that, right? That's anchored in that C. Okay, now so. Those are probably, there's one other note that's important in this song, but those are the three biggies. And there's two other notes that are important in this song. So that's your opening. So if I were studying this song, I'd be going A, D, C, E, D, C. That's how it opens. Now, in guitar music, in classical guitar music, they split it into the upper voice and the lower voice. And that will be true through until you get to more advanced music. But when you look at this piece, pretty clear. You got some high notes and you got some low notes. The low notes, there's only 3 that you need to worry about in this song. One's going to be E's, one's going to be A's, and one's going to be D's. Okay, so E. So in the first setup there, the note with 2 ledger lines below the thing is your A. Okay, so you're going to go, and then 3 of these A strings. Sorry, 2 A strings. And remember, tied notes are 1 note. And when you see that big swoosh, that means you just hold that. Okay, and then your next one is you start with that 0, that E note again, and then you've got an F note. Okay, so that's a 1 on the, don't confuse the 1 as first fret. On classical guitar music, the 1 is you're supposed to use your first finger. Okay, so you're just going to create that F. So E, F, and then back to E, and then go hit that same note, that D note with your pinky again. But notice your bass notes now are E's. So if there's 3 ledger lines and it's below the 3rd ledger line, that's your E string. Hit it 3 times. You've got the same exact note again here, this D, and then you have the C again, and then B is obviously open string. Okay, hit those dark notes again, and then you're going to hit, this is a new note coming up here, this B open string, and then they show you hitting a 2 here, but honestly I think you should use a 3, and you'll find out later why. I would change that 2 to a 3, and that's 2nd fret, 3rd string. And how I'm remembering this now, this is a G string, okay, and the second one up is an A. Okay, so G, A. So now I learned, I've got E, A, D, G, B, E. I know that this is an E, I know this is an F, I know this is a D, C, B of course I already knew, and then A, they're telling you to use a 2, and that wouldn't be bad, but I think you should use a 3 because you're going to find out when we rewrite the song that you want to have your 3 there. And then back to the B, and then back to the C, and now your A string comes back in. Okay, so there's all that. If that's all you did in a week, that would be fine. That's plenty. Okay, the next few measures are similar. So then you got to start with your E again, and then hit your D, then hit your C, and then a couple of A's. Now here's one more note. It's a G, and that's the dot. That's right above the ledger. It sits on top of the ledger line. It's a G, and that's going to be right here. And the way you know that, here's your G chord. You're holding that down. G on top, G on bottom. And that's your G chord. That's how you know that's a G. Okay. If you're on ukulele, that's a C, right? You know that's a C. On guitar, that's a G. And then you're going to go back to the F note, which we already played once. And then this E note here. And then come back to your F note. Okay. What's fun, now you get to hit the Ds. Okay. Notice your D string is right underneath the staff. Okay. And then you're going to play the F, G, F again. And then you're going to hit a wide open E. Hit the E, deep E string, E again, and then go grab your D, hit the E, hit the B, that's open, and then that's goes into the A, which again I'm recommending you use your 3, and 2 more A's, 3 A's, okay? Now, there in the middle of measure 17, that's the same exact piece of music. It just repeats the beginning. So we'll go back to, it has the same exact fingering as the beginning. So let's play just through that real quick. And then E, F, E. And then your D chord again, D string, and a couple of E's. 3 E's. Then you're going to hit a D again, and then a C, which is your 1 on the 2nd string. Where did I leave off? Oh, B, and then 2 more E's, and then a B, A, B. B, A, B, and then into your C again. Put that here. Couple of A's. Okay. Then we have a new little section here. I'm at the end of 25. You got your E, and then your pinky on the D. And here's where it gets kind of weird. I want you to use your 3rd finger on that. We're going to play a C sharp. So that, you know how you have your C here? That's the next one up is a C sharp. So again, use your 3rd finger. And then go play 2 A's. By itself, that note feels wrong, but when we stick the chords in it later on, you'll see it sounds really cool. Hit that twice. Then go get the A. That's on the string right above it. We're going to go way high, all the way up to this G we already played. Okay, and then E, then an F, two more D strings. And we're going to play that same note again. Then an open note, D with your pinky, and then an E open, hit the low string, E string again, hit the D, E string open, B string open, and then use your 3 to get this A. And then you're going to go right above that is the next note. This is an E note here also. So you're going to hit your E note just as if you're holding an A minor. And that would make sense. The song's in A minor. You hit this A. The next note's going to be right above it on the E. Pinky up here, 5th string, 3rd fret. And then open. Okay. So those are your notes. And that took me 2 hours one night to sit down and really think it through. Try not to mess your sheet music up. Write everything down. Get everything on there as best you can, and take your time. And if you have to use a book to look up which notes they are, you shouldn't have to though. There's about 6 notes in the melody, and then you're going to use this D, this A, and this E quite a bit. And it actually is quite lovely. Now, the other thing I want you to do is you're going through and messing around with it, try to figure out where your chords come in, because as fingerstyle players, that's what we care about are the chords, and then we build the melody around it. And once I figure out the chords, the whole melody is like, oh, I totally understand everything that's going on. And I would then play it my way rather than what's on the paper. I'm not telling you that that's what classical musicians would do. They'll play exactly what's on the paper, but you can make it better by putting in some chords on this thing, or at least make it more powerful and more interesting to your ear, I think. But you have, if I tell you the song is an A minor, and that its good friend D minor is going to show up in this song, and its really good friend E is going to show up in this as well, you will end up with a really fine piece of music. So we're not going to go into it any deeper than that. And again, if that's not your thing, it's not your thing. Next week, we will play this thing. Okay, so you have all week to really think about where my fingers should go and how I can get the best sound out of this song. Next week, I will play it like it's written, and then I'll show you how I would jazz it up and make it a much better song, in my opinion. And then I will also hand out your next assignment. Now, those of you who are internet gurus, please don't go search for this song, right? Just don't do it. Just let it be a thing. Just let it be all on its own. If you need to look up where the notes are on your guitar fretboard, you can do that. One of the I think on the guitar website I have that cheat sheet, but I may not have posted it. But the big thing is just find where your basic notes are, and then just go through and pluck it. You're just playing a melody all the way through here. There's nowhere where a chord really shows up. They're hiding out underneath there. They're not written down, but they're definitely there. So that's what I know about guitar tonight. I kept you 10 minutes over. I apologize. But we have lots and lots more exciting things to work on this season. So I want to get you a couple other Beatles songs to keep you happy. So if you guys will toss. Okay, Pauline says, "Can we play it slower than 138?" Pauline, I'm going to play at half that speed next week. Okay, 60 is fine. Here's how I look at tempo. Okay, and I'm not an academic guitarist, so understand I'm about to speak heresy, but you should play it at whatever speed you want until you're really good at it. And then if you're thinking, yeah, I'm probably going to present this to somebody, you start to find your perfect tempo. Most of the time, the perfect tempo is going to be exactly what's on the sheet music. That's going to make the most sense, somewhere between there. But boy, when you're start at half that speed or a third that speed. I mean, really slow it down. And I think I told you guys I'd be taking a few guitar lessons. My teacher's attitude is get it right, get it right. Now I have sort of the opposite idea generally when I'm working on stuff is get it close is my idea, but when he would way rather I play it much slower and get it right than be trying to push the tempo, right? The time you push the tempo, the time you want the tempo to mean something is when you have the song memorized. Now, are you going to memorize this one? Yeah, maybe not, but definitely take it slow. Definitely take it slow, and I'd way rather get two measures perfect at 60 beats than 1.5 measures perfect and a goof up playing it at 138 or whatever it's supposed to be. I do find that most of the time when you see tempo markings, I ignore them clear up until I'm getting pretty close to having the song mastered, and then I double check, and he almost always is basically right in where it's supposed to be. So yeah, hope you guys are having a wonderful week. We have nothing but positive news from here out, I'm hoping, and so let's just make guitar this 45-minute a day thing that you disappear into and just enjoy, and have a lot of fun. If you have a Beatles song in your head that you think, man, I've always wanted to play that one, send me a note about it. I have a few others done for baritone, so it's not terribly difficult for me to toss them together for guitar. And but I also want you guys to tell me, hey, when I was growing up, we listened to this one song on my phonograph, and I would like to know what those are because I did not grow up listening to the Beatles. I really, honest to God, don't know their repertoire at all. And so what I do know is what you guys have told me is awesome. And so if you will let me know what other Beatles songs you want to tackle, I'll look and see if they make any sense for our style of play. And again, those of you guys that are newer or working your way up through the chain, and you play it a way that makes sense to you. If tough acts is too tough, don't do it right now. Work on the melody. If you don't work on chords at all and you have a hard time singing and strumming, maybe you should work on that. If you are all of you can play melody, I'm not worried about you playing melody, but getting it smooth and on time and where it just comes out of you pretty naturally, that's definitely something. And obviously we all want to play tough acts, we all want to play chord melody, so don't 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 rush it. Just take your time and make it turn into something. Let's see. Saw some other notes. Evelyn said, "Thanks again. Love your selection of songs this time around." This time around, I don't know what that means, Evelyn. This time around, I like your songs. This time. All right. Or does it mean I like your song? I like your songs this time too. I don't know what she means. Evelyn keeps me straight. Vic, this is great. Love these songs. I do too. I think it'll be fun. Pauline, great choice of songs. Good. Nancy, thank you. I love these songs too. Yay, glad. Arlo says the philosophy is also preached by Tommy Emmanuel. By that, I think you mean play it slow, get it right, get the whole thing cleaned up, know exactly what your fingers are supposed to do, and then you can always speed up. But there's no point in playing fast till you can really play it, I don't think. And frankly, most of the stuff, even when I'm done, I'm playing it pretty slow. So I don't know. I don't know why everybody's in such a hurry. Okay, thanks, Arlo. Well, me and Tommy Emmanuel, everything he knows he learned from me. Yeah, Tommy Emmanuel, if that's another guitarist, if you don't know him, go look at him. His YouTube videos are amazing, and he does a ton of really helpful stuff on there. It's all, of course, very advanced, but another really great guy who's really trying to spread the love of fingerstyle guitar. So definitely somebody to look for. Thank you for being here, Elizabeth. Marianne, so good to see you. We're delighted you made it in tonight. I know you guys, I know how busy we are, and I know what a crazy world we're living in. I'm sitting here in my back bedroom, right, talking to my laptop. So we all agree the world is insane. But what can we do, right? Right now we can sit down with one of these guys for a few minutes a day and make although that crazy just vanish because we don't have room for it in our head. Play something that's challenging for you. Also, don't forget to play something that's kind of fun once in a while, and and then be working on one or two songs that you want to own and play them every day, right? So kept you too late tonight, guys. Better go home, better turn it off, or your significant other will be like, what are you doing? Why are you on that laptop all the time? And have a wonderful evening, you guys. Thanks for being here. I will see all of you soon. Try to do a random act of kindness, something silly for somebody. Try to be safe. Try to practice a little bit. I find that to be iffy, but I definitely know showing up here works. If you forgot, you ought to give me a thumbs up because they're going to send me a free puppy when I get enough thumbs up. And if you like if you have a Gmail account, you should subscribe because if I ever am struggling getting this thing posted on our regular website, this magically shows up on your YouTube feed. You just have to open up YouTube and it'll all of a sudden tell you I'm live. I think that's how that works. And so do that. And Ronnie, good to see you. Marianne, thanks for being here. And I will see all of you guys either tomorrow or next Thursday night. Put it on your calendar so you don't forget. A puppy for Henry. We ask Henry all the time, do you want a friend? Should we get another cat for you? And he didn't get along with the last cat he had to share the place with. Henry is a bit of a Adonis. He likes to be the center of attention. He likes to be all about Henry. So I'm going to go pet him right now. So you guys have a wonderful night. I'll talk to you soon.